Howdy. Welcome to Hugh Crumpler's Florida Trophy Pro Bass Fishing January 2015 Bass Catching Report. We've got lots of pictures from January of 2014. Lots of large bass were caught. January opened up with a beautiful morning. This is a shot from the ramp as the sun came up. I was waiting for it to leave. The temperature dropped 35 degrees from the day before. The wind was howling at 15 to 20 miles an hour out of the north with gusts to 30 mile an hour. Talib caught large bass after large bass. His largest was 10.5. He also had a 10-pounder, and he had a ton of giant bass. At one point during the day, Talib said, when somebody gets your voicemail and you say you are helping folks catch monster bass, you really are helping folks catch monster bass. I sure wish I could have got that on video or even a voice recording. Would have been awesome, just the way he said it. You can tell by the grin on this man's face he was happy. You could tell by the waves in the background. The wind was howling. We had our clothes on, but nothing bothered to leave as he caught giant bass after giant bass. Give me a call, drop me an email. You could be next. Look at the belly on this fish. You saw the one previously that was a post spawn. This one's a pre-spawn. Judging by the size of the belly on this fish, which you can see in the next picture, I can guarantee you that fish went on the bed as soon as he released her, or maybe even as late as the next day. Man, that's what we call a pre-spawn fish. In Florida, you have pre-spawn, spawn, and post-spawn fish all at the same time. It's awesome fishing. The second day, Talib was going to use artificials. With the wind the way it was, we opted to go to Garcia. This is a photo of an area of Garcia. You notice it's a little bit calmer. There's a lot more wind breaks on Garcia. We used Rapala skitter props. Skitter prop, not pop, but prop, to catch the bass. We twisted a couple of times, let it sit. The bass hit it while it was sitting still. We did not catch the monsters at Garcia. There aren't the monsters in Garcia that there are in Stick Marsh, but sometimes it's a good place to go when you want to fish artificials. Charles Poteet came over from Tampa. This is his first fish. His dream fish, a 10-pounder right on the nose, 10 even. Again, look at the belly on that bass. And then here's your guide, and thank goodness he cut the belly of the guide off the photo. But here's your guide. That's me. Kind of nice to see myself in the photo every once in a while. I just want to know where the fish is. Oh well, Charles caught a bunch of nice fish the day he came. He was really thrilled. Charles is a military man. We appreciate it that he served. It's an awesome thing to do, to write a check for your life, for your country and your countrymen. This is a photo of a boat that came in the vicinity of us, gave us lots of room, and I'm reasonably sure when we departed they took our place. The next photo is of a giant bird sitting on top of the spillway that was observing us, probably waiting for a shiner to float free or die and come swoop in and steal it from us. But that was that. Now the next day, a young man brought his wife, and you can see she did pretty good. She was happy. They caught lots of nice bass on wild shiners. That's what most of the fishing was early in the month, was shiner fishing. And they did really good. This is the young man himself. He caught some nice fish too, just one right after another. Danny tore them up that day, as did his wife. They had a couple of doubles, and there were several of these doubles. I just got a photo of this one. Happy couple, happy bass. Don't get any better than that. People ask me what's the average size fish or the regular fish you catch, and I guess those two were probably close. This is something highly unusual. They caught a catfish and a bass at the same time. Yep, same time, one hook. Here's the young lady with another bass. Fishing was good. Fishing was real good. We were fishing in the spillway area, throwing wild shiners, catching bass. I say we, I was baiting and pitching and working my tail off trying to keep up with all the catching. They did really, really good. Got another photo of her and some nice bass coming up. It's really awesome fishing at Stick Marsh. You know, there's lots of bass, lots of nice bass, lots of big bass. You have a real opportunity to catch a 10-pounder in this lake. A lot of times people talk about it, but this is the place that can get it done and does get it done. If your dream's to catch a 10-pound bass, this is your best opportunity anywhere. It's not that big a fishery, and it's loaded with big fish. Lots of big fish. They can be caught on artificials. They can be caught on shiners. Just trust me to know what it takes to catch them with what I determine is your skill level. This is Herb Atkinson. He came over. All he wanted to do was catch fish, and that's all he did was catch big fish. One right after another. He may not have had the giant 10, but he had a lot of really nice quality size fish. For Herb, that was about an average. The man caught about 50 a day for 2 days. Wore me out. That's one of his larger ones. You can tell by the grin this man had a good time. That's what we like, folks, having a good time catching good bass on the world famous, world renowned Stick Marsh. It's so famous, Bass Pro Shop named their new store in Palm Bay the Stick Marsh Outpost. It's a great place to fish, great place to come fishing. Herb did really, really well. We like that. We like folks to do well. We do whatever it takes to help you catch fish. That's the back of my bass cat. You can see it. Plenty of room, plenty of space. Herb was just tearing them up. We weighed this one. I think it was 9 pounds. Maybe it was 7 pounds. I don't really remember. But no, it was a nice fish. Herb caught so many big fish. He has a proud memory, and we call it a bass war wound. That's where he stuck his rod butt for 2 days to power them fish, and there were so many, so big, fought so hard, they left a giant bruise down on his belly. The man's proud of that thing. He earned it. He should be. This is Gary Clark. Gary comes fishing with me quite often. I think that was a 10 that Gary caught. I'm really not sure how big it was. It might have been a 9. I think it was a 9 now that I think about it. Gary brought his there I no, that was a 10. That was me. I had a little bitty one. Gary's was a pre-spawn and mine's a post-spawn. Tell by the look on my face, I didn't like the skinniness of that fish, but still, it's a good fish. This is Rob Dearman, brought his son. His son was a little camera shy. Some of these pictures the boy caught, he was 10. They were from Canada. Again, the temperature was 30 degrees below what it was the day before, and the bass were biting good. It was 39 in Florida, which Rob didn't seem to bother him too much because it was minus 15 in Ottawa, where he came from. We had an audience that day, and the audience was in a big hurry to go somewhere at the time I took the photo. Maybe the audience was a little camera shy itself, or maybe it was running to get a free shiner somewhere. But lots of nice wildlife here. You can see it's Florida. Rob caught some good fish. This fish had a belly on it, and it's one of those ones we think that as soon as we release it, it's going on the bed somewhere. Really nice fish, really. Here's a picture of the belly. You can see what I mean. Nice female bass, and she's going to make some more female bass. As we were departing that day, we would come across some alligators, so we stopped and looked at them while they looked us over. Not sure if they were deciding we were good to eat or not, but thank goodness they stayed on the bank. There's couple of pretty good sized ones there. That one on the right, as you look at it, he's a serious gator. Now here's a better picture of him, standing tall and looking good. He's what, that 3 feet that he is from belly to the top of his back? Whew. Son, that's what you call a gator. Yep. Check this one out. Nice fish, man, caught. We were just tearing them up. Big fish, thick marsh, that's the place to go. www.hugh-crumpler.com. There's Gary Clark with a nice bass. Gary's a good fisherman. He did the first TV show ever done with Jerry McKinnon. Back in the old days. On this particular trip, he brought his pastor David to come fishing with us. The pastor had a great day. He and Gary spent a good portion of their time sending pictures and texts of their fish to their friends, seeing how many of them they could get jealous. It was working. Their friends were a little jealous, especially the ones living up north in the snow country. That's Pastor David with another nice bass. We love these nice bass here at Stick Marsh. Here's one I caught on a horny toad. Man, did I have fun that day. 12.5, 10, 8, 7, and 6.5. By the time I caught the 6.5, we didn't even take a picture of it. Just didn't think it was worth taking a picture of. Kind of crazy. But it was a beautiful day. Horny toad, you just throw it across the top of the water and wind it in and watch them tails wiggle and splash and burble and hold on, because something's going to try to take your rod away from you, and most generally it's a giant bass. Every once in a while it's a small one, but most of the time it's a really, really nice fish with a really, really bad attitude. Actually, it's a kind of a good attitude because we like it. And you just come here, email me, give me a phone call, book a trip, and you could be next. This is Bomo with a nice bass. Bomo was with me that day, or I was taking him fishing. The half-day trip when we caught them lunkers on the last day of the month. Once again, it's Hugh Crumpler's Florida Trophy Pro Bass Fishing. www.hugh-crumpler.com. You could email me, Hugh Crumpler, and the number 3 at gmail.com, or you can give me a phone call, 321-626-6174, and you could be next. I hope you are. God bless you and have a great day, and thanks for watching our January 2014 bass catching video.